Most investors think if I put my money in real estate properties, it's safe. Well, that's not entirely true. And Brandon Turner just proved it. Yeah, you know Brandon, the former face of Bigger Pockets, the man who, according to his own bio, sold over 1 million books, has over 100 million podcast downloads, and has a company, Open Door Capital. Yeah, that Brandon. He just lost $15 million of investor capital in one single deal, an apartment deal. He didn't lose $15 million because of what all the analysts and gurus are saying. Nah, it wasn't because of the financing or because it was too much leverage. The type of loan he described is pretty standard for multifamily. It wasn't because the deal was some shady private offering like others are saying, and I'm not too sure if I can hang my head on the idea that it was because of a bad economy. I mean, he raised the rents by 33%. You ain't doing that in a bad economy. So what is the reason he and his investors lost $15 million on this deal? Give me a minute of your time, and I promise you I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, and trust me, it's not the usual suspects. And I'm going to show you exactly what you should do as an investor instead. So let's break down Brandon's $72 million deal and see how he lost $15 million of investor capital and why some investors walked away with zero. The irony is, it's literally in plain sight, and the majority of investors don't even bat an eye at it. Wait, real quick. Before we dive into Brandon's $15 million loss, let me explain this very important fact. It will help you see exactly why the investors walked away with zero, and it will challenge the way you invest your money, especially on real estate deals. There are three types of people on every single deal. You have the consumer, the producer, and the banker. The consumer is just the everyday person who uses the product and pays for it. That's not who we're talking about today. So let's focus on the other two, the producer and the banker. The producer is the one who makes the deal happen. They source it, put the pieces together, and run the whole operation. The renovation, property management, the syndication. They do all the upfront work. They do the work while the property is being held, and they see the property through sale or refinance. So basically, they're doing everything. And a sharp producer can control most of that. But here's the catch. The one thing no producer can control, not even Brandon, is the market. And the producer's position is the one fully exposed to every single step in this process. So the producer is really rolling the dice on everything going their way. If it does, they win big. If it doesn't, their money is the first to get chopped. The producer almost always carries the majority of the risk and gets paid last. The banker is the one who finances the deal. They put up the bulk of the money, but they tie it to the property, not to the plan. If something blows up, the banker's money is most secured and always gets paid first. The banker carries minimum risk. So you got two positions, the producer and the banker, and one is rolling the dice on winning big with no real control over the market. The other is protected and gets paid first no matter what. Most investors are obsessed with being producer. I used to be right there with them. Then I learned this, switch seats, and now I look back and I wonder, what was all the euphoria about? Now look, hear me out. Being the producer isn't bad, but as an investor, don't you want your money in the safest position possible on the deal? The position your capital is in on the deal matters, and everyone just glosses over it. I'm Anitra Preston with Vertical Capital. I've done over 450 deals since 2004, and today I lend money. I'm the bank, so when I say the position matters, it's not something I heard. It's what I experience every single day. So what happened on Brandon's deal? Was it the property? According to Brandon, the Houston property was definitely one to brag about. At the end of 2021, they buy it for $72 million. The loan was around $52 million. The capital raised was $25 million. The plan, the classic bird. Buy it, remodel it, rent, refi, or sell, and everyone gets their money back. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Except the capital investors didn't get their money back. So think about that. The property is top tier, Class A property, a proven expert with a billion-dollar track record, the standard BRRRR strategy. It's like Allstate. You're in good hands, right? Your money is supposed to be safe on the deal. After all, it's secured by real estate, right? Okay. So then why did the investors holding the $15 million get zero? A goose egg. Well, it wasn't because of the property or the deal or the experienced expert. It was because their investment was placed in the riskiest position on the deal, which was the down payment. And for a while, it worked. It really did work. Over 4 years, Brandon took the rent from $5.9 million a year to $7.87 million, a 33% jump. The profit, the net operating income, went from $2.3 million to $3.6 million. Occupancy rate was over 95%. So forget what the analyst told you about the loan, the lack of transparency, etc., etc. He executed the whole plan. How does a man do everything right and still lose $15 million of investor capital? Well, because the risk never had anything to do with the property in this case. It was the position the money was placed in on the deal that made it risky. Listen, you can have the best property, the best construction team, and a standard loan structure and still get wiped completely out. All it takes is one minor hiccup and it can go downhill fast. Real quick, hit the subscribe button if I'm adding value. It helps this video reach more people. Now, remember, Brandon and his investors entered this deal as producers. Their money went in on the down payment side, the riskiest position. And Brandon did his part. He controlled everything he could, and he nailed it. He ran it clean and grew the rents 33%. But the producer's seat is wide open to the one thing nobody controls, which is the market. Rates shot up and fast. His loan carried an adjustable rate, so the payment climbed right along with them. Then everything else piled on. Insurance spiked after the hurricanes, property taxes went up, repairs ate into whatever was left. And just like that, the cash flow was gone. Now here's the part that really stings. Even with the rents up 33%, the market repriced the property, and it was suddenly worth tens of millions of dollars less. Now watch the difference between the two seats. The banker's money does not care if rents go up. It gets paid on the promissory note, first in line. But the producer's money lives or dies on the exit, the refinance or the sale. And Brandon's clock was short. So when the market turned, he couldn't wait it out. He had to act. He did a capital call. He refinanced his own house. He even moved from Hawaii to Texas to save the deal. And it still wasn't enough. So he had no choice but to sell. The hardest working man on the deal put his own home on the line and still couldn't save it. Not because he was a bad operator, because he was in the producer's seat, and that seat carries all the risk. So he sells the building for about $62 million. So here is what sent the cow over the moon. There's an order of disbursement. And pending where your investment is on the deal, you either get paid first or last. First in line, of course, is the bank. The loan was around $52 million, and the bank got every penny. The bank was never in danger because the banker's money was never tied to anything but the property. And here's the quiet part. The down payment isn't just the riskiest money in the deal, it's the money that protects the bank. It's built to take the loss first, so the lender never has to. So after the bank gets paid, whatever is left goes to the producers. And there wasn't enough left to make them whole. So they got completely wiped out. So the bank and the producer sat in the exact same deal. One walked away whole, the other one walked away with nothing. The only difference was the position their capital sat in on the deal. That's the thing hidden in plain sight. The position your investment sits in matters. And for you skeptics way in the back, the ones who are saying, oh, this is just an outlier. This does not happen often. Oh, it doesn't. Well, per Brandon, he has a few other deals that are on the exact same path. I too have had a few deals go this way when I was in the producer seat. So I wouldn't be so quick to shun this off like it's no big deal. When you've done enough deals, it's definitely something to consider. Quick stat, around $800 billion of apartment debt is coming due between now and 2028. The delinquency just hit a 12-year high. A lot of investors put their money in the producer's seat in 2021, betting on a number of uncontrollable factors to keep their investment protected. And as of right now, the bank is sitting in the winning position. Look, if you have the mindset of cash liquidity first, but don't know where to start, you're looking for real actionable steps, or if you want to know how to grow your net worth and get into safer, profitable investments, then join our free community. Oh, and do me a favor. Once you get inside, check out the Big Wins section. You'll see how we have grown our members' net worth to $2 million and how they are taking control of their investments. When you join, hit me up. I can't wait to meet you.